Oh, what's good, everybody? Welcome in. It is a glorious Friday, end of the week, and I am so pleased that you decided to spend it with us. This is Coach and Company. We are live on the Stadium Network and everywhere the stadium is, YouTube TV, Direct TV. Also, we are live on YouTube. If you watch on YouTube on your way in, please hit that like button. It really helps the show grow. And also, we are live, as always, on the X, I believe on Facebook, socials, all over the place. And we continue to grow. Now, over here at BTT Studios, as you know, we have started to streamline. We've got a ton of content. In fact, at our BTT Wrestling page, the Coach and Bro Show, live yesterday on Stadium. Such a funny show. I encourage you to check it out. The 2 Count is also on demand. And then the last word with Big Tommy C and Gabby at our BTT Wrestling page. This is now BTT Sports. So everything's BTT. We're just dividing it into 3 different pages. Now, over the course of the look at producer man. Let's go. Always surprising me. Always surprising me. That is freaking awesome. All right, those are the 4 shows, and we're getting ready in the next month to add 2 more. So we're going to have to widen up that graphic just a little bit, but that looks freaking awesome. All right, over the course of the next 60 minutes, we got a lot to get into. Out of bounds, a Knicks player was mistaken for a regular person. We'll talk about it. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, a sneaker war? Is it really? Also, World Cup, big one today. Team USA, game number 2. They can secure their spot in the knockout round with a win today in Australia. We'll talk all about the World Cup, what it's been doing, the big stories from yesterday. We'll get into all of that coming up in the next 60 minutes. So without further ado, I do not do this show by myself. It is time to bring it. Oh, and it's a Friday. That's right. All sports talk, all opinion, no filter. Let's start with the best damn beard in the game. And Soupy, I got to ask you, how busy have you guys been over there at Prize Picks since the World Cup has started?
That is all not all we've been doing. We're covering World Cup. We're covering the MLB. We just got done doing the NBA and the NHL along with the WNBA. And then when the World Cup's over, we're going right into the NFL.
And that's exactly what we're going to be doing right here as well. We're starting football in July. So many different topics to get into. We're going to need 2 full months to do it. Now, this other guy on the other side, boy, he has been working. He's been grinding. I tell you guys at home all the time, if you want to learn how to do something, dig in. Get into it. And that's exactly what my guy has been doing. Mikey P, well done behind the camera. Also a great job in front. Good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, Super. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for those words. Coach, you know what? Today I had to pay respect. I brought out Captain America's hoodie. I had to don the red, white, and blue just like Soupy here. I mean, listen, I get a lot of flack for wanting to be pro-Italy. So can I join everyone here today? Can I be Team USA just for the day?
Well, you can. You can. Just why do you continue to wear the UFC hat?
Because it's the only red, white, and blue hat that I own besides the Red Sox, and I'm not putting them on my head right now.
Soupy. I would love to see Mikey without a hat on at all. I don't know that I've ever seen him.
Yeah, you have.
Not on TV.
Won't happen.
Won't happen? If I tell you to do it, it won't happen?
No, yeah, whatever you say goes. Actually, but who knows? Maybe in the next week or so, Coach, maybe I'm working on some things, and you may actually see me on TV without a hat on.
Wow, that sounds very ominous, Soupy. Very, very, very ominous.
I don't think he wants to take the shine away from our King Lettuce, Peyton, because I feel like if he takes that hat off, it's just going to flow everywhere, right? Right, Mikey?
I think that is not going to happen. That is not going to happen. All right, gentlemen, before we get into the World Cup, we got to talk a little bit yesterday. The parade in New York City. And Jalen Brunson gets off and carrying it around. He wanted everybody to touch it. Over 1 million people, over 10,000 police officers that were deployed, the largest ever for any event in New York City. The mayor got up there completely out of place. I don't know if half the people knew who he was, to be quite honest with you. But Soupy, I am a sucker for these parades. I am a sucker for a team doing everything in their power and getting to celebrate it with fans, bandwagon or not. What did you make of the scene yesterday with the Knicks?
It was incredible. I've seen a lot of videos of it. I've been to a New York City parade when the Yankees won in '09, and it is an incredible experience. It really is like the one time when the New York City team wins a championship, it really is the one time where the whole city just comes together, joins, and celebrates, and that's what it looked like there.
It really did, and they were lined up early in the morning. I will never, as much as I love sports, Mikey, I will never be that guy that says, man, I got to be down there at 3 a.m., go buy the coffee and hot chocolate, sit and watch everybody just kind of show up. I'm never going to be that guy. I just don't have it in me. What about you?
This parade got me thinking, Coach, because I saw two women get into a fight on a streetlight pole. I saw one guy climbing in the top of a tree. I saw Chick-fil-A still being delivered to some business that was still in hours of operation. And I was like, if the Bears were to ever win the Super Bowl, and I emphasize if, would I want to go to that parade? I hate most of the human population to begin with, and being in big crowds. And I'm like, what would I get out of it? And I don't know the answer to that except being around way too many people. So I think these parades are great if you can handle big crowds. I'll just watch at home though.
You're lying. You are absolutely lying. If the Bears were lucky enough, because I went through the same thing the first time, the second time, and the third time. But I didn't go any of those times. But I thought about it. Soupy, do you think he's being honest when he says if they win a Super Bowl and it starts and ends in Hammond, Indiana, that he would not be there?
I actually do believe he would, but I will encourage you to go. I've been to championship parades. They are an incredible experience. Yes, it's crowded, it's noisy, it can be very chaotic, but it's a great experience.
I wonder if when you showed up, Soupy, that you felt like a fraud. Because I've said many, many times, your fandom is kind of a fraud to me. Did you feel like a fraud?
Definitely not. I've been a Yankee fan since birth. So for me, no.
Yeah, you and Tommy. I mean, if we put lie detectors on both of you at the same time, or you went up to a true New Yorker, Mikey, if you walked up to a true New Yorker with the slang and a Boston person at the same time, and I said to them, could you ever be a Yankees fan to the Celtics? Could you ever be a Celtics fan to the Yankees? What do you think those two people would say?
They'd start swinging immediately. And I think even worse, Coach. Subi, aren't you also a Dolphins fan? Like, I think that's even more, like, to be a Giant.
Whoa. That's family-oriented. That's a family situation. So we let him have the Dolphins, like,
okay, then, yeah, Yankees, Celtics are getting swing on.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, Soupy. I tell you what, if Celtics win next year, I will be all over you for you and Mikey to show up in Boston for the parade. All right, Now, I know you will be. Maybe we'll do a live stream. We'll do it on Kick. Or since we're old, we'll do it on Twitch since that's so yesterday. All right, gentlemen, today it has taken the world by storm. And the three countries that are hosting the World Cup, of course, Canada, big win yesterday. We'll talk about that in about 30 minutes. And also Mexico. They narrowly got by yesterday, 1-0 over South Korea. But it's all about Team USA. And the first game they had at SoFi Stadium last week, 75,000 people, absolutely sold out. There were celebrities everywhere. I don't know how many celebrities are going to be traveling, Soupy, to Seattle for the game tonight. And I'm trying to figure out, you could put this game anywhere. New York, could have been back in SoFi, Chicago, and you decide on Seattle? Your take?
Yeah, I don't like the choice of it staying on the West Coast. They should have maybe come to the Midwest. It should have been start the West Coast, go to the Midwest, then end on the East Coast for your 3 group games. I've been watching a lot of clips from Boston, the USA watch parties in Boston, and they are going electric for these games. If you're seeing Scotland's playing in Boston, They are running out of beer in Boston bars because of the Scottish that have come over for the game. And that's the thing. Boston is a sports town. So at some point, they should have been playing in Boston.
Can you imagine how much beer you must be selling? Because you're ordering extra beer anyway. And to run out, that's got to be a bartender's best nightmare, is what I like to call it. The best nightmare. Oh, my God, we sold out, we made the money, but where are we going to get more? That's amazing. And it makes sense, doesn't it, to have Scotland play in Boston? It makes sense. But, Mikey, to have Team USA, and they'll tell me, oh, Seattle, they have a rich soccer history. They got the Kraken, or whatever the hell it is. This makes no sense. You could have this in Dallas, anywhere but Seattle.
Yeah, I agree, Coach. If you're going to keep it on the West Coast, it's got to be Los Angeles. But to Soupy's point, let's just name 3 cities in the Midwest right now that we would take over Seattle: Chicago, Dallas, Kansas City. How great was that showing with Patrick Mahomes in the building as well? And then if you want to go to the East Coast, I actually do like Soupy's idea of going from West to Midwest to East Coast. But I want to keep Team USA far away from New York City right now. I don't know if anyone's handling themselves over the past 48 to 72 hours. So take them to Boston and let's let the celebrations just kind of be apart from one another. I don't like this move for Seattle at all.
Has anybody seen where Game 3? I haven't looked this up. Where Game 3 is? Does anybody know that?
No.
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that either. All right, so let's look at it from a positive perspective, because for the first time, maybe ever, Soupy, they have a team that's legit. They've got 2 players that are high-level international players that are legit. Now, Christian Pulisic, don't know if he's going to play, but regardless, after the way they blew out Paraguay in game number 1, it feels like there's this renewed sense of maybe we do belong. Do you get that feeling when you're watching all the highlights and the clips?
Yeah, with the way they won that game, a 4-1 win is impressive. Yes, I feel like that rejuvenation of USA soccer is back. I hope it stays. Now, I think Australia is going to be a tougher opponent. They're a better defensive team, so I think this is going to be a closer game. But if they pull this one out, that means they go to the knockout stage. And again, I feel like USA is going to rally around, and we're going to get soccer fever all over again.
It feels that way because Turkey was a favorite to win the whole entire group. They get shut out by Australia 2-0, and it really kind of made everybody look at Australia and go, wait a second, maybe they're a little bit better. They've got a really big stud who's a young kid out of Australia. You're going to find out when this kid has the ball tonight. He is electric. But, Mikey, from a fandom point of view and from an MLS point of view, this has to be a success for the United States because a lot of fans who aren't soccer fans, they're going to look at it and say, Team USA is connected to the MLS. Maybe I'll go to a game. Maybe I'll check out the closest, team to where I'm at. I think that's how important this World Cup is for United States soccer.
I agree with you. By the way, Coach, that 3rd game is at SoFi Stadium, so they're all on the West Coast.
There you go.
But I would say, more importantly than the win, it is about the way that they win. You can have a win when you're getting into the knockout stage, but I think you have to put up multiple goals because that's what the casual United States soccer fan wants to see. 1-0 is fine. We got the dub. But to really bring in fans, you want electricity. You want a 2-1, 3-1, 4-2 type of finish. I think that's what's going to get fans really captured if they go out and perform the way they did in their first match.
Okay, well, we're going to break down the game a little bit more from a head-to-head matchup and also in our full World Cup report. That comes up in about 20 minutes after the bottom of the hour. All right, we're just getting started here on a Friday. This show always looks forward to the weekend. So coming up in front page news, because of the World Cup, nobody's been talking about the College Baseball World Series. It's been awesome. And the final series starts tomorrow. We'll talk about it. Also, I got undressed on social media when I got asked on Coaching Bro, the best NFL stadium in the country. What is it to you? I'm going to ask my guys. And also in Out of Bounds, when you're a Knicks player, but you don't get treated like one. All that's still to come. Get your ass out of bed. That's what we do. You start your day with us, and you have a great day. This is Coaching Company. We're live on Stadium, on YouTube, and social media. Come on back. All right, we continue on our YouTube page. Guys, the U.S. Open, I'm super into it. Do you like these super hard courses? Because every time we get to this tournament every year, it is absolute carnage. And a part of me likes to see the greatest players in the world absolutely struggle, except for my one and done, who happens to be in the lead right now, Wyndham Clark. Soupy, do you like the U.S. Open in the Northeast?
I always love the U.S. Open. I love watching the majors in general, and I'm always a casual. I'll watch it. I don't know if I like necessarily watching them struggle, especially for a casual fan. You want to see them sink the birdies. You want to see them get the crowd get excited, maybe hit a long putt, maybe get onto the fairway. So I think for the casual fan, this isn't necessarily the best thing, but I think for the real fans, they love it.
It's funny because everybody that complains to me when I do a PGA Tour event, it's, oh, coach, all the pros do is make everything. Well, that's how most of the coverage is done because they don't want to show a par putt. They want to show birdies and great approaches and things like that. So I get a lot of complaints the other way. Mikey, what about you?
Well, Coach, I struggle like doing mini golf. So just hearing hard courses freaks me out a little bit. But when a professional like yourself is setting the stage for the world's absolute best talent, having to go through a rigorous course, it makes more for appointment viewing because it's nice to be great and have an easy, fun time. That's what golf can be at times. It's supposed to be fun. But when you put them through the rigorous courses, it makes it more appointment viewing for sure.
There are players that love it. Matthew Fitzpatrick, he's won the U.S. Open before. He embraces it. He says he doesn't like easy courses. He likes the challenge. He wants to challenge himself. And you talk about a schedule. I called the Masters for 2 years when I was at ESPN. You had to be there at 6 a.m., and you did not leave until after dark. Everybody thinks that it's fun to call a major. Boys, it is brutally fun. I loved it. But you get back to your room and it is 9 o'clock and you literally fall down and then you're up like that, right back at it, 5 straight days. We're back in 5 seconds. Front page news. All right, welcome back, everybody. Time for a little front page news. This is Coach and Company. I'm the coach. Thanks for hanging out with us here on a Friday. And before we get into our first topic, gentlemen, we have to pivot just a little bit because I have some really hardcore facts and numbers that I need to throw out to you guys. Because we just talked about you brought up the beer, Soupy, in Boston. So producer man, being the great producer that he is, looked up some stats. Would you guys like to hear these? And I would love your reaction. So the Boston Beer Company says its Samuel Adams Boston Tap Room ran out of its flagship Boston Lager over the weekend, selling roughly 4 times the volume they'd expect over a big holiday like the 4th of July, and requiring emergency deliveries to restock. Local Irish-style pubs, such as the Dubliner and Hennessy's, reported going through around 100 to 200 kegs combined. That's an estimated 16,000 pints. Several reports note that the mainstream brands, Budweiser, Corona, were drunk by the Scottish fans almost exclusively. And an international business press report projected that the 2026 World Cup in North America would generate roughly an additional 1 billion, with a B, pints of beer consumed worldwide over the year. Soupy, the beer industry is thriving. Thank you, World Cup.
That is incredible to hear. I saw some reports like that. I've heard that Boston sold triple what they sell from St. Patrick's Day. I've been to Boston on St. Patrick's Day. I cannot believe that.
I would love to see, I love reality shows. We're getting ready to start a reality brand here. And wouldn't you love to have a reality show on these bars and watching these general managers go crazy and not want to call the owner and say, oh, my God, we're completely out. Can you imagine calling the owner, Mikey, and saying we are out of beer?
I would love that. I would love John Taffer to be in the building. Coach, I just hear all those stats, and I just say two things. Challenge accepted for St. Patrick's Day next year. Someone's got to step it up for what will be your boy's 35th birthday. Some city has to. Also, I would love, we get all these streaming content. Why is no one just sitting down streaming with the Scottish in Boston and taking it all in? You get these moments, but I want a full live stream of how many Scottish people are still standing at the end of these matches, do you think?
Well, I've been to Europe, and they will undress an American drinker. I mean, they'll laugh at us. They're still going like 2 a.m. They've been drinking literally all day, and we're like this, It's happened. Maybe not to me, but it's happened. It's crazy. They're built different. They're born different. Their bodies are different. Like, I hate Guinness. I hate the taste of Guinness. Some people love Guinness, and I don't understand that. I hate Guinness. So they're just built different. They really, really are. All right, gentlemen, topic number one, and I love to bring another show into this one. We have a hit show called the Coach and Bro Show twice a week on demand at our BTT Wrestling page. And yesterday we had a question in a super chat it was a sports question, and the top 5 stadiums in the NFL according to me. I said Arrowhead, I said a couple others, and a guy on social media said, Coach, are you out of your mind? You forgot Lambeau Field in Green Bay? So it got me to thinking. Everybody's great stadium is different based on what you like. So, Mikey, let me start with you. In your mind, what do you think is the greatest stadium in the NFL?
First and foremost, it's definitely not Lambeau Field in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin, where you got to park at Deborah's backyard to walk to the stadium. Let me just start with that. I'm sick of that town, and I'm sick of that franchise. I'm really going to divert here, Coach. Lumen Field, the home of the Seattle Seahawks, the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions. The noise factor, everything they do leading into the football games. I think there's no better scene on Sunday Night Football than Seattle, Washington.
I'll never forget walking when we had WrestleMania 19, and they may have built a new. This is the same stadium, I'm sure, because I was there when they knocked down the old one. So we get dropped off. I get to walk into the football stadium before I went into the baseball stadium, which is where WrestleMania was at. And I remember I was in there completely empty, and it was one of the coolest things. They had the lights on. You could just feel it. The air was crisp. It's a different kind of feeling there, certainly, in that stadium. Soupy, what about you?
I'm going to go with just the stadiums I've been to. I love the Gillette Stadium. I think the area surrounding it is really nice. You have bars and restaurants, sort of. It's like its own plaza. I think that's a great area. I've been to MetLife in Jersey. It's a dump. Where they put it is terrible. Like, it's just fields and woods. It's an absolute terrible place they put it. So I love Gillette Stadium.
So you didn't even answer the question, but the MetLife is so bad that when we used to do Raw or SmackDown at the arena, which is right there, we would leave early. Like, we'd wait for like 11:06 to hit, race to our cars, and try to get on that little, the little turnpike entrance before everybody else got out there. It's the worst designed area in sports. It just is. It just is. And the fact that neither one of you even mentioned the greatest stadium in the world that shares a parking lot with the World Series champion Kansas City Royals is embarrassing. Arrowhead Stadium, which I don't know how much longer they're going to be using it. They're going to be moving theirs to the Kansas side. It's not as bad as Hammond, Indiana, but they're going to be moving it to the Kansas side to build a brand new stadium closer to our NASCAR track, which is amazing as well. So, embarrassing, boys, embarrassing. Now, speaking of embarrassing, topic number 2. We're going to be talking a lot of football. That's what it is. And Sauce Gardner is widely thought of as one of, if not the best, shutdown corners in the entire NFL. But I'm not quite certain how intelligent he truly is. Because as he was talking to the media over the last couple of days, something came up about his age. And online it has his age as 25. And he says, no, I'm actually 24. Mikey, the fact that he doesn't know how old he is or that it's wrong online blows my mind. That happens with international athletes, not a guy from the States who went to college in the States, and you don't know how old you are, or we don't know how old he is.
You know, it's even more embarrassing, Coach. This might be kind of a symbol of someone who was once drafted by the Jets. He said, "No, I swear I'm 24. Ask my mom." You're Sauce. I don't know if it's the Buffalo Wild Wings sponsorship or what it is. Maybe playing for the Jets actually hurt him in his life value. We need to get to the bottom of this, though, but you can't say "ask my mom" after 17. It's just, you can't do it.
Soupy, help us with this one. Help us.
Here's the thing, though. He's been in the league. This is not like he's a rookie. He's been in the league multiple years. How is he not? Must have been brought up. Plus, he said, I was born in 2001. So this would be the 25th year. Did his birthday already happen? Is his birthday not happened yet? So that's what I want to know.
I think his birthday's in August, right?
August 31st.
Okay.
August 31st. So that would make him 24.
Okay.
Yeah, it would make him 24. I just found this hysterical. I really, really did. I really, really did. Topic number 3. And it's unfortunate sometimes that certain sporting events gets overshadowed. The Women's College World Series was phenomenal. It got overshadowed. And now the Men's College World Series, because of the World Cup, is getting overshadowed. It's been phenomenal. Oklahoma, who wasn't even one of the top SEC teams, they had to beat Georgia Tech, the 2 seed. They did that. They were down 8-2 in an elimination game and came back and won at the Super Regional or Regional, whatever. But then you had to beat Georgia. They did that. And now they're in the final series. It starts tomorrow against North Carolina. But guys, they have set the games for Saturday, Sunday afternoon, and then the game deciding third game on a Monday night in June. I don't know if that's just the way it falls, Mikey, but it feels like to me it's once again going to get overshadowed because 2 of your games are on the weekends when the World Cup is going to be all anybody's watching.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the worst part. If you're looking for one storyline here, it's North Carolina's dominance. That'll be the reason I tune in, even if it's just for the deciding game. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I'm watching all 3 games, but they've swept everybody. They're looking for their first ever World Series championship. Take note, Bill Belichick. That's how you win at this program. I'm excited. I actually want to see if they can pull it off.
Soupy, what about you?
This is a true David versus Goliath matchup. Can Oklahoma continue that Cinderella story? And North Carolina has been one of the best teams in the country. The only team in this tournament that is top 10 in ERA, runs, and field percentage, which means they dominate everywhere. And I think even the field percentage is something important to look at. Costly errors can cost you a game that could cost you the College World Series. I think that UNC is going to be tight enough to win this. And back for the first time in 20 years, when they lost back-to-back College World Series, I think they get it done this time.
It's funny because Oklahoma has these 2 brothers that are pitchers. One's a reliever and one's a freshman starter. They are ice cold. They are ice cold. They've got this stare that don't even mess with them. The other night, I can't remember which game it was, but the freshman was pitching. He gets to the end of the 7th inning. And, you know, it's kind of at that time where you bring in the bullpen and they're up by 2 runs. The manager, the coach, walks over to him, and you can see him look up at the coach. And the coach was just like, "Oh, you good? I'm good." And didn't even get to him. Just turned around and walked the other way. There was no way, Mikey, he was coming out. There was no way. I love that. And for a freshman to be that way and tell your coach, "I'm going nowhere," went out, gave up a home run and had to come out anyway. But I digress with the story. He still stood up to his coach, and he's going to pitch one of these 2 games. That's for certain. Gentlemen, well done on Front Page News. All right. We are only halfway home here on Coach and Company on a Friday. If you're feeling a little bit low in energy like I am, maybe you can lean on your friends, lean on us, lean on all of our content, because I got to get myself up and ready. I got a full day. So coming up on the other side, we're talking all things World Cup. We'll look back to the results from yesterday and look forward to the games for today. And also the New York Knicks. Oh, Apparently, not everybody knows all of their players. We'll discuss that coming up. This is Coaching Company on a great Friday here on Stadium, YouTube, and social media. All right, you crazy kids, we continue on here on our YouTube page. Tariq Skubal, great pitcher for the Detroit Tigers. Last year, they came out of nowhere, Mikey, and they became the darlings of Major League Baseball and the playoffs. But apparently, he wants to get paid. And apparently, he doesn't really want to get paid by the Detroit Tigers because they are not playing very well. He has now put out an ultimatum. You either play better or else. Mikey, have you ever heard a player say, play better or else?
No, I haven't, and it's pretty ballsy. If I would be a Tiger fan right now, I would say it seemed better to turn it around, or else I'm not going. 9.5 games back of the Chicago White Sox. Are you kidding me? I know Skubal was hurt for a minute, but this guy has no room to talk. Look at how he handled himself in the World Baseball Classic. Dude, you haven't been healthy. You've been going back and forth. Maybe just be quiet, or else don't be a Tiger anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, the World Baseball Classic, Subi, was embarrassing. He says, I'm only going to pitch one time for, 2 innings? And then he gets done. He goes, oh, wait, this was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. Next time, I'll stay here for the whole thing. No, next time you won't be on the squad. Subi, your take on Skubal.
I think he has a little bit of leeway to say it because he is the current Cy Young winner. So I think he could tell his team, man up or I'm out. And I will quote a Miley Cyrus lyric and say, I hopped on a plane to LAX because I think next year he's going to be donning Dodger blue no matter what the Tigers do.
That was a lyric in Miley Cyrus's song? Dodger blue. Dodger. I hopped on a plane to Dodger blue?
No, I hopped on a plane to LAX.
Oh, I didn't. You said the whole thing together. Oh, sorry. I was confused. About as confusing as watching that new show, Little People. Have you guys seen it, Little Singles? Have you seen it? They have a former dancer with Miley Cyrus on that show as well. That's about as random as what Soupy just said. Okay. What are we doing? All right, it's time to talk World Cup 2026. We are back live in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I am the coach. We are just past the bottom of the hour. If you're watching us live in the East, it is 10:32. 7:32 out in the West. If you're just getting out of bed, come on. Let's go. Let's have a great day. It is an absolute blessing to be alive. We are live on the Stadium Network, YouTube TV, Direct TV, all of the platforms. Also, if you want to be interactive, I see the chat is just absolutely popping over there. You can watch on YouTube and hit that like button on the way in. Or, as always, you can watch on the X, Facebook, and all those platforms as well. All right, gentlemen, the World Cup continues today, and we are all in. Group D and Group C are playing today. And the first game, and we'll get to that in a second, is USA and Australia. But the other two hosts played yesterday. And I want to start with Canada because they had never had, Soupy, a win ever. I mean, ever. And yesterday, they just blew it out of the water. Their star, Jonathan David, a hat trick. They win 6-0, but they lose one of their best players to a horrific broken leg. If you saw the video, oh my God. And they had he was just in tears. And I can't even believe how painful it must have been. So now Canada gets the win. They are very much alive now because they tied their first game to get to the knockout stages. What did you make of their performance yesterday?
Incredible performance overall, but Kane, that is a terrible loss. Not only is he one of their best players, but he's considered one of their leaders. Now, from what he the type of player he is, that brings Canada down defensively a big time because he's one of their best box-to-box players as a center midfielder. So I'm wondering, they are likely going to get out of the group stage into the knockout stage. But when you don't have a player like that, how is that going to affect you going forward?
That's exactly right. So for those of you that don't know, 32 teams make it forward. 2 teams that qualify from the 12 different groups, that's 24, and then 8 third-place teams make it through. So there's still a lot to play for. Mikey, let me come over to you because Canada clearly yesterday, they played very confident. Their offense was on point. They looked the part. They looked the part. And when you've never won before, when you've never raised that winning flag, that can be daunting. But now that is in their rear view, and we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, you know what? I enjoyed two things about that matchup for Canada. Number one, we saw the day prior. Star power continues to deliver. One of their best offensive player comes to shine. I think that's the beauty of the World Cup. We may not be able to, off the dome, name every top player in every country, but if they show up and show out, then we are going to know who they are. And another thing, Coach, I looked at live betting during this matchup, and when it was 2-0, the over 3.5 for team goals for Canada was a minus 2,000. I was like, I guess they're just thinking they're going to go on a roll, and then to hit it by 6, I was like, what? I mean, the books knew on that one.
That's a crazy number because they had to score 2 more at that point to catch that, and they didn't want you to. Clearly, they didn't. The over was 2.75. If you brought it down to 250, it was minus 150. That was the lock of the century. The lock of the century. Now, in the other group yesterday, Mexico. They had the very first night game last week. They won 2-0. Yesterday, it was tight. But a mistake by the goaltender from South Korea allowed Mexico to score, I believe, in the 50th minute. They hold on to win 1-0. And South Korea, Subi, they had their chances. My goodness, did they have their chances. But alas, Mexico and that incredible Mexican following, their games have been in Mexico. Makes a lot of sense. They are the first team to move forward into the knockout stage.
Yeah, I actually ended up watching this game, and it was 0-0 at halftime. I'm like, there is a chance for an upset, especially with this in Mexico. That crowd was absolutely crazy. I love watching the games for the home country. I loved watching Canada in Canada, USA in USA, and I love watching Mexico in Mexico. They've been exciting games to watch.
What about you, Mike? You like Mexico because they are, to say they're all in, they are all freaking in.
They are. I want to go off the field for a second. And the thing that made me want to follow and get a bit more intrigued by Mexico, Subi just mentioned it, Mexico playing in Mexico, but they're kind of embracing the Korean fans. All week, it was just fans of Mexico and fans of Korea just together in the streets, partying, celebrating one another. Like, we would never do that in the States. I don't know how many Americans are going to be arms wide open for Australians today. And I love the Aussies. But to see the way the camaraderie has brought everybody together, it actually, for me, Coach, it makes it more intriguing to watch because you want to see these two countries go to battle on the pitch, but you want to see them embrace each other as well.
You want to see somebody call Wimby and say, watch this.
Yes.
Let's watch this. Because that's how you do it. It's competition. You don't hate each other. You don't despise each other. It's competition. Now, are you trying to tell me, Mikey, that the Australian fans are not going to put their arm around the United States fans and go back and forth and go, oi, oi, oi? We're not going to see that? Is that what you're talking about?
Everyone beware. There might be more kangaroos on the loose in Seattle tonight.
All right.
I'm out.
It is the first game this afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern time. I feel like I'm complaining about this game because to me, I'm trying to think about presentation. And to me, when you're a main event, just like Fred Durst, the great Limp Bizkit lead singer, told me one time, I don't go on before the sun goes down. But yet, Team USA is going to be playing at 3 o'clock Eastern, noon local time in Seattle. It's going to be difficult to get up and get going at this particular time. Soupy, I don't like the time. I don't like the city. But if you're Team USA, it's on you to make sure you come out of the jump, because the one thing you don't want to do is what Turkey did with Australia. And that's come out very, very lackadaisical. And next thing you know, you're down 2-0 and the game's over.
Yeah, they need to come out aggressive. They need a goal probably within the first 20 to 25 minutes. Set the tone of the game because this isn't Paraguay. Australia, we've seen they are a very good defensive team. They are good at taking away the ball. They're good in transition. And that's the thing about USA. They have the firepower. They have the aggressiveness to score, but they do not defend very well, especially in the midfield to center and in the back. That's going to be the trouble. So this could very well be a 1-1 game for a very long time. This could end in a draw, but USA, I think, potentially has it to maybe get that win. I think it's going to be a 2-1 game.
I think there's going to be at least 3 goals. I haven't looked at the latest lines, but most of these games, Mikey, in these early stages are like the 2.5, and most of the numbers like -115 or -110. So I would assume that it's going to be the same here. I'll look it up quickly. But if you are betting on this game, to me, if you give me the choice, I'm taking the over. It's just more fun, and we know Coach hates unders, but I also think that's the right play in this game as well.
Yeah, I do as well, Coach. And I think the one thing that Team USA and All-American fans have to remember, like, we're not invincible as a soccer team right now. Just because we got that win and everybody's riding high, we've all talked about it today. Australia is also coming off a huge win over Turkey. So the momentum is literally, this is the best part. This is why the over makes sense. Both teams are riding momentum, and Australia is being extremely overlooked. They don't care that they're playing in Seattle. They don't care what time it is because it's 17 hours later in their home country. So I think, given all the momentum for both these teams, the over is absolutely the play.
Yeah, right now it's over 2.5, -111. If you want to play the goal line, it is minus. Excuse me, my apologies. The goal line, which you can lay 0.75, is -125. The money line, which includes the draw, so soccer betting can be a little bit confusing if you don't know what you're doing, is -163. But the problem I don't like with soccer betting, Soupy, is it's -163, but a draw, you don't get your money back. And I hate that if you're going to play on the money line and not the goal line. If you want the goal line, they have to win by 1. It's still -125, so I don't know what I would play if I was playing a side. What about you?
Yeah, I think I'm not going to choose a side. I'm going to play with, looks like we're all in agreement, this could be an over, because a couple of times in this World Cup, I have bet on the money line and the games end in a draw. So I've lost. So I think that's why I've been playing more of the totals. I think I'm going to go with the over 2.5.
Yeah, I that's exactly what I'm going to do. All right, quickly, we have a couple minutes left. The other games today, Scotland and Morocco. I don't know where this game is, but I hope it's in Boston. Does anybody know where the Scotland game is? It's in Boston?
Yeah.
Are all 3 games in Boston for Scotland?
I don't know if all 3 games are, but I know this one is.
See, that's something that FIFA needs to think about. Because if you're a fan and you're flying all the way over here, the last thing you want to do is be flying all over the place, right? You need to have these games in the same stadium so they can stay in the same hotel and not have to travel. Morocco, another thing. These are gigantically expensive trips. Mikey, have you done any hardcore handicapping on Scotland, Morocco?
I have not, no, but if you've seen the way that you and Subi both referred to the Scottish in the city of Boston, I would not bet against them at all. I wouldn't bet against them on the soccer field, in the bars, whatever. If it's involving the Scots right now, the Scottish win. That's it. I mean, that's it.
I'm so glad that I haven't seen a video of a Scotland player at a bar celebrating it, because that could be an issue. 2 more quick games, Subi, Brazil and Haiti. Again, my dad used to go to Haiti for over 20 years. He's a minister. They are half of an island. I did not know they had a soccer team good enough to make it to the World Cup, and now they play Brazil?
Good luck with that one. I think I'll take the money line on that game. Give me Brazil. I'll go with a little bit of a confidence in that one.
Well, what do you think the money line is?
Go like -275.
Yeah, you wish. How about -850? They're laying on the goal line -2.5. They are favored to win by 3 goals. That one's going to be a blowout. That's at 8:30 Eastern time tonight. Then there's a late one, Turkey and Paraguay. There's a lot of these countries that are different time zones. They're trying to hook them up. And so there's a game tonight at midnight Eastern time, I believe it is. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, when we come back on the other side, it's time for Out of Bounds, where we just try to find a couple of topics that are just fun and fun to talk about. We've got a sneaker war in the WNBA. But do we really? Coaching Company, Stadium, YouTube, socials. Come on back. Do we like the fact that, because to me it's very important we think about everybody and not just about the United States. And whether it's the start time of a game, because normally Australian games from their league will start here in the States around 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock because it's like a 22-hour time difference. Do you think that's part of the thought process, Mikey, when putting the game today at 3 p.m. Eastern time?
Yeah, I would believe so, Coach. And I'm going to talk about it from an MMA perspective. When other companies go over to Australia, they sometimes have to fight locally at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And just imagine from a fight perspective that, like, you have to now train your body to be awake for a fist fight at that time. So I can't imagine, and I hope that Team Australia, for their sake, has gotten accustomed to being here in the States because, you know, the energy and all the cardio you need for a soccer match, you better be ready to go at 12 p.m. local time.
That's the thing, is they've got to figure it out, Soupy. Nobody wants to hear the game was too early. It happens in college basketball all the time. Sometimes these NFL games start early. And I remember Jalen Rose once told me the worst game to ever play as an NBA player was a 12:30 local start for the Clippers.
I can imagine. And that's the thing. Like, a lot of these players are so used to playing night games, 7:30, 8 o'clock games, even when they go to the West Coast. It's the same thing. So when you have to, especially a night game, to turn around into a day game. But I think what they're doing is this kind of meets in the middle with the USA. It's early, it's enough where they'll be able to play. In Australia, they want their audience to play. It's like when the WWE goes over to Saudi Arabia, that's their prime time. But for us, 1 or 2 o'clock is fine for us to watch it.
I hate the WWE shows in Saudi Arabia. I hate the 2 o'clock Eastern starts. I hate the MMA, events that you're talking about. I'll wake up and I'll be like, hey, my best bets, and it's already over. You look at the UFC app and it's like, oh, all the fights are over. Despise it. I get it, but I despise it. All right, gentlemen, we are back live in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I am the coach. This is Coaching Company here on a Friday. Hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. It is now time to tackle a few topics that are just fun to talk about, fun to tease about, and just laugh most of the time. So, gentlemen, we got to start with the Knicks parade yesterday because there was a Knicks player, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't know he was a player either, but he decided to get off the float. And, security was heightened. Do we have that video loaded, Mikey?
Yeah.
And what's that player's name?
Tyler Kolek, who could have been. I don't want to be disrespectful, Coach, but if Machine Gun Kelly had like a more dressed up second cousin, it would be Tyler Kolek.
So here's Tyler. He gets off and all of a sudden they're like, hey, big dog. You need to get out of here. How'd you get inside of the ropes, so to speak? He's a player. Now, as the video went on, they kind of laughed it off when one of the police officers kind of whispered to the dude with the beard. And he go, dog, he's one of them. He's one of them. But let's be honest. Would any of us known that Tyler was part of the team? Soupy?
No, he looks like your tall frat bro that you used to go to college with and go to the bars. Definitely not. This was an entertaining one. Another surprise, Mitchell Robinson on a lifted pickup truck going down the parade listening to country music. That was insane. It was an incredible parade to watch, though.
It really was. It really, really was. Now, for all the good in New York yesterday, there was the bad, I guess, because last night the Yankees not only lost to the Chicago White Sox 5-1, but there was a little incident where Jazz Chisholm got hit in the Chisholms. And, well, as they went, there you go, as they go back and forth between him getting hurt and the dugout, Mikey, well, the team couldn't help but laugh a little bit, chuckle a little bit. My question to you guys is this. Is it okay to laugh? And we've all walked like that before, haven't we? Is it okay to laugh when you've been hit in the Chisholms, so to speak?
Well, a little ironic there to see Aaron Judge laughing when he's not in uniform. I mean, you're injured for 4 to 6 weeks. But I think the good thing for Jazz, Coach, was that players on the White Sox weren't laughing at it. Like, the pitcher wasn't. It's very funny when it doesn't happen to you and the guy is your teammate. But I think I'm cool with it because I think it's absolutely hilarious, especially in baseball, because then you got to go, how bad was that pitch, dude? Could you not get out of the way?
It's the worst. Soupy, has this ever happened to you?
Yes, I've taken a bad hop before, and I'm looking at Jazz Chisholm's face right now. His life is flashing before his eyes, and I feel you, bro.
I feel you, bro. I feel you, bro. All right, final topic, and this one's a war. This one is a sneaker war. And Caitlin Clark has been teasing her first drop, as the kids say, her Caitlin Clark 1, for months now, and decided to have it come out on Wednesday, the same day that they played the Atlanta WNBA team. Who plays for that team, gentlemen? Well, I'll answer that for you. One Angel Reese. And Angel Reese decided she would also drop her second signature shoe on the same day. Now, you ask, Coach, how did the game go? I'll tell you. And I can't believe I'm saying this. Angel Reese got the better of Caitlin Clark. 21 points, 11 rebounds. She got the dub. Caitlin Clark, 26 points, 7 assists. Is it out of bounds? Soupy, I'll start with you. For your biggest rival to drop their shoe the exact same day.
No, that's just the way it goes. These two have an intense rivalry. And I don't know how Caitlin Clark feels, but I know Angel Reese does not like Caitlin Clark. You see her mocking her. She did it on the court last night, mocking Caitlin Clark with her, I guess, flopping or whatever. Yeah, no, she did this intentionally, and she doesn't care.
Well, the power behind the Angel Reese shoe is Shaq and Reebok. And Mikey, Shaq loves the little. The problem is you can't talk trash about it because her first shoe, I'm shocked she got a second shoe. It sold nothing. How surprised are you there's an Angel Reese 2?
Well, first I want to push back, Coach, because this game actually ruined my activities in the betting world last night. Shout out to the Atlanta Dream. I don't think Angel Reese got the better of Caitlin Clark. I think Atlanta had the better team with all starters having at least 16 points. So this game frustrated me to begin with. I just want Caitlin Clark, if everyone else in the league is going to make her a villain, let's just play into the heel role, Caitlin. If Angel Reese is going to mock you for flopping, then why don't you just start mocking her and missing layups and grabbing the rebound every 30 seconds and then go out and shoot a 3? Like, I'm just sick of this. If we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, I want Caitlin Clark to be the heel because I'm sick of Angel Reese. She never gotten a second shoe, and she ruined my night, Coach.
Wouldn't it be amazing if this actually happened? Wouldn't it be amazing if they turned Caitlin Clark at State Farm, at Nike? Because right now she has to be the baby face. She's got to be the one that every little girl loves, that every little girl wants to be just like. If they flipped the script, Soupy, and they made her this diabolical, like just egotistical, I think it might surprise them how popular she would still be.
That would be a swerve that the best WWE writer could wish they could write. It's Shawn Michaels super kicking Marty Jannetty through the Bruce Barber Beefcake window. That's Hulk Hogan being the third man. This would be the biggest swerve in sports history.
Now I'm just sitting on it. Now I'm just thinking about it as my two dogs are tearing down my door right now, trying to get into the room because I don't understand dogs when they know I'm in the middle of a show. They sit in here every single day. They know I'm talking about Caitlin Clark and about Angel Reese, but yet they want to scratch my door and tear it apart. What is it about animals? What is it?
My cats are just sleeping, chilling, just enjoying the day.
It's embarrassing you're a cat person, Soupy. You're 6'4". You look like a lumberjack. You're my guy. How can you be a cat person?
You know who's a cat person? Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I know he is. And I would tell him the same damn thing.
You would tell him? Okay.
I would, right before he kicked my ass. Yeah, which he's done many times, I might add.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know what a Stone Cold Stunner feels like.
I'm the third best all time, by the way, to take it. I can't believe Stone Cold's a cat person. And he talks about these cats like they're his best friends. It's crazy. I may not tell him to his face. Mikey, would you tell Stone Cold to his face?
No, I just feel bad for any ex-girlfriend of Stone Cold's because the way he yelled "Poncho" in that viral video, he's never yelled for an ex-girlfriend that way. I mean, the damn cat, really, Steve? I mean, I'm not saying it. I'm just saying.
I will say he was the very first person when I got hired at WWE. I got hired on the spot. I did my tryout. It was amazing. I had 2 hours to kill. I went over to the WWE gym, and there was two people working out in there. The lovely Deborah, who when you're 22, you're trying to work out that way so nobody thinks anything negative. You feel me? And Stone Cold Steve Austin, who at the time, there were rumors that they were dating. Those rumors turned out to be true because they got married. Imagine being in the gym with Stone Cold, who asked you to give him a spot on the bench, and then his future wife working out across the way, and you're a 22-year-old kid going, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And if I wouldn't have spotted him, can you imagine Stone Cold like dropping the bar on himself and I'm responsible for hurting the cash cow? That was my life. Gentlemen, well done today. Have a great weekend. All right, it is time for you all to go out into the world. Enjoy Team USA. Enjoy the World Cup. Enjoy the College World Series. Get out of bed and do something fun over the weekend. And remember, it's an absolute blessing to be alive. We'll be back on Monday Live to recap everything over the weekend. And, of course, my son, JJ, a big tournament this weekend. So cross your fingers for him. In the meantime, on behalf of the entire team here at BTT Studios, my man Soupy, my man Mikey P, producer man always behind the scenes, I am simply the coach. This is Coach and Company, and we are live every single day. Have a great weekend.